You know, for years, we have all been watching this royal drama unfold like it is some kind of never-ending reality TV show, holding on to this tiny, fragile glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, the two brothers who walked behind their mother's casket together would find their way back to each other. But I have to tell you, based on what we are hearing now, it is time to let that hope go because the latest reports coming out of Kensington Palace aren't just bad, they are final. And they paint a picture of a relationship that isn't just broken, it is incinerated. We are talking about a total, complete, and permanent shutdown. According to high-level insiders, Prince William has effectively washed his hands of the situation, and the message being sent from the future king is absolutely brutal in its clarity. The door is shut, and it is shut forever. But here is the thing that makes this so fascinating and slightly terrifying. This isn't just about a brother being annoyed or a family spat getting out of hand. This is a strategic military-style operation to protect the crown, and when you dig into the why behind this decision, it actually starts to make a scary amount of sense. You have to ask yourself, what could push a man who values family duty above everything else to completely cut off his only sibling? The answer lies in a shift in psychology that has taken place over the last 4 years. A shift that has turned Harry from a beloved brother into something much more dangerous in William's eyes. See, we tend to think of this as an emotional issue, right? We think about hurt feelings and childhood trauma, but reports suggest that for Prince William, this has moved way beyond emotions and has entered the realm of risk management. Sources close to the Prince of Wales claim that he no longer views Harry as a family member in the traditional sense, but as a legitimate security threat to the institution of the monarchy. Let that sink in for a second. A security threat. That is the kind of language you use for foreign adversaries, not the guy you grew up playing video games with. But think about it from William's perspective. Every single private moment, every text message, every quiet conversation over dinner has the potential to end up in a paperback memoir or a streaming documentary. The level of trust isn't just low, it is non-existent. William reportedly believes that there is literally no such thing as a private conversation with Harry anymore. And for a man destined to be king, a man who prizes discretion above literally everything else, that is a risk he simply cannot take. Imagine living your life knowing that if you vent about your day or make a joke, it could be analyzed by millions of people on television 6 months later. It is a nightmare scenario, and William has allegedly decided to wake up from it by simply removing the source of the anxiety. But if you think the security risk is the only reason, you are missing the biggest piece of the puzzle, the emotional red line that Harry crossed which basically sealed his fate. And this is where things get incredibly heavy because it involves the Princess of Wales, Catherine. We all know that William is protective, but when it comes to his wife, he is absolutely ferocious, and reports indicate that Harry's public attacks on Kate in his memoir, Spare, were seen by William as the ultimate, unforgivable betrayal. It wasn't just about the stories, like the famous bridesmaid dress incident. It was the narrative. William reportedly feels that Harry and Meghan's media tour allowed the global press to vilify Kate, painting her as some kind of villain in their story, and that is something William simply cannot stomach. And now the stakes are infinitely higher. With Catherine battling cancer and focusing entirely on her recovery and their children, William's protective instincts have gone into overdrive. He is reportedly unwilling to allow even a single drop of stress or drama near his wife right now. He views Harry not just as a nuisance, but as a source of emotional toxicity that his family cannot afford to indulge while they are facing a serious health crisis. The thinking in the Wales household is simple. Survival comes first, and if Harry threatens their peace, Harry has to go. It is harsh, sure, but can you blame him? When your partner is fighting for their health, you eliminate anything that makes life harder, and right now, sadly, that thing is his own brother. This creates this incredibly awkward and complex dynamic with King Charles, doesn't it? I mean, you have the king, who is reportedly deeply hurt by the attacks on Queen Camilla, and let's be honest, Harry really didn't hold back there. But at the end of the day, Charles is still a father. He still calls Harry his darling boy, and reports suggest that the king is actually more open to some kind of reconciliation, or at least a softening of the ice, because he wants to see his sons reunited in his lifetime. But here is the twist. William has effectively become the gatekeeper of the monarchy's future. He has made it clear that while the king can do whatever he wants, William will not be part of it. No happy family photo ops, no forced reunions, no pretending everything is fine for the cameras. This puts Charles in a terrible position because he knows that the monarchy's survival depends on the Prince of Wales. He can't force a meeting that would destabilize William's household, especially not now. So William's refusal to engage is absolute. Remember when Harry visited the UK recently? William didn't clear his schedule. He didn't return texts. He made zero effort to see him. It was a cold, silent message that spoke louder than any official statement ever could. It's like William is saying, "You made your bed, now you have to lie in it, way over there in California." And the tragedy, and it really is a tragedy, is compounded by the fact that Harry, by all accounts, seems to be realizing what he has lost. Sources from the Sussex camp suggest that Harry is getting tired of the fighting. He misses the structure, he misses the connection, he misses his old life. He has reportedly sent messages expressing a desire to meet, to talk, to move on. But these attempts, they are hitting a brick wall. To William, these overtures likely feel incredibly manipulative. It probably feels like Harry wants to sweep years of betrayal under the rug without actually taking any accountability for the damage he caused. The Prince of Wales reportedly feels that Harry wants the benefits of reconciliation, the royal status, the forgiveness, the warm, fuzzy feelings, without acknowledging that he practically tried to burn the house down on his way out. The trust deficit is so massive that there is no foundation left to build on. It is like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. It's just not going to work. And frankly, William doesn't have the time or the emotional bandwidth to try. We also have to look at the future, because William is a man who is always looking 10 steps ahead. He is preparing for his reign, and in his vision of the future monarchy, there is simply no role for a non-working royal who publicly disparages the institution. It just doesn't fit. William is focused entirely on his 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. He is determined to raise them with a sense of duty and stability, protecting them from the dysfunction that plagued his own childhood. And let's be real, reintroducing Harry into their lives, with all the accompanying media circus and potential for leaks, is seen as completely counterproductive to their upbringing. William has reportedly told friends that he has actually mourned the loss of the brother he once knew. That is a powerful word, isn't it? Mourned. It implies that he has accepted that the Harry of today, the one who sits for interviews and demands apologies, is a different person entirely. The grief process is over. William has moved to the stage of acceptance and detachment. It is sad, but in a way, it is also freeing for him. He doesn't have to worry about fixing it anymore because he has decided it is unfixable. This door is shut forever. Narrative is also a massive signal to us, the global media and the public. For years, the press has fueled this, won't they speculation about a reunion. Every royal event, from coronations to funerals, becomes a spectacle of body language analysis. Oh, did William look at Harry? Did they nod? It is exhausting. By letting it be known through back channels that a meeting is officially off the table, William is trying to end the speculation once and for all. He wants the narrative to stop. He wants the world to stop asking when will they make up, and start accepting the harsh reality that they won't. It is the new normal. The brothers are now on 2 divergent paths that are unlikely to ever intersect again in a meaningful way. Harry has his life in California, his media deals, and his freedom. William has his duty, his future crown, and his family in Windsor. And honestly, maybe that is for the best. Sometimes, relationships run their course, even the ones we think are supposed to last forever. But think about the psychological toll this takes. We often forget that behind the titles and the castles, these are real people. William has had to harden his heart against his own brother to protect his wife and his future. That is a heavy burden to carry. It requires a level of compartmentalization that most of us can't even imagine. He has to separate the memories of the past, the laughing, the joking, the shared trauma of losing their mother, from the reality of the present. And the reality of the present is that Harry is viewed as a liability. It is a brutal calculation, but in the high-stakes world of the monarchy, feelings often have to take a backseat to survival. And make no mistake, the royal family is in survival mode. With a slimmed-down monarchy and health crises affecting key members, they have to circle the wagons. They cannot afford leaks. They cannot afford drama. They need loyalty, absolute and unquestioning. And unfortunately, Harry has proven that his loyalty lies elsewhere. There is also a fascinating element of sarcasm or perhaps irony in how this played out. Harry left to find privacy, right? That was the whole pitch. We want privacy. Yet in doing so, he generated more headlines than he ever did as a working royal, and in the process he forced his brother, the one who actually stayed, to build an impenetrable wall of privacy against him. It is almost Shakespearean when you think about it. The quest for freedom led to total exile. The desire to be heard led to being silenced by his own family. And now, William is just getting on with the job. He is attending engagements, he is supporting the king, he is looking after Kate, and he is doing it all without looking back. There is a steeliness to William that we are seeing now, a toughness that perhaps we didn't realize he had. He has drawn a line in the sand, and he is standing behind it, unmovable. So what happens next? Well, probably nothing. And that is exactly what William wants. No dramatic late-night talks, no televised reconciliations, just silence, distance, two separate lives unfolding on two separate continents. It is a heartbreaking end to the era of the Fab Four and the inseparable brothers, but it seems to be the only way forward. Love has turned to indifference, and brotherhood has been sacrificed on the altar of duty and self-preservation. For Prince William, the cost of letting Harry back in is simply too high. He has chosen to prioritize the mental health of his wife and the stability of the crown over the nostalgic idea of brotherly love. It is a brutal ending, absolutely, but it seems William has decided that the only way to protect the future is to leave the past, and his brother, behind a door that is now locked, barred, and shut forever. You have to wonder, though, deep down in the quiet moments when the cameras aren't flashing, does he regret it? Or does he just feel relief? Because sometimes, cutting off a family member isn't about anger, it's about peace. And right now, peace is the one thing the Prince of Wales values more than anything else. We also have to consider the long-term historical impact of this. 50, 100 years from now, historians will look back at this moment as the turning point. This isn't just a feud, it's a reshaping of the modern monarchy. By cutting Harry off, William is streamlining the institution. He is making it smaller, tighter, and less vulnerable to external attacks. It is a ruthless move, but perhaps a necessary one for an institution that is trying to survive in the 21st century. It sends a message to everyone. You are either in 100% or you are out. There is no halfway. There is no part-time royal. You can't monetize your titles and expect to keep your seat at the table. William is setting a precedent that will define his entire reign. He is showing that he is willing to make the hard calls, even if they hurt personally. It is a preview of King William V, and honestly, he looks like a monarch who isn't going to be pushed around by anyone, family or not. And you know, there is a lesson in here for all of us, not just royals. It is about boundaries. It is about knowing when a relationship has become toxic and having the courage to walk away, even when society, or in this case, the entire world, is telling you to fix it. We put so much pressure on family first, but William is showing that sometimes sanity first or wife first or duty first has to take precedence. It is a controversial stance, sure, but it is also a deeply human one. He is drawing a boundary to protect the people he loves most, and really, can we fault him for that? The narrative has shifted from William the stubborn brother to William the protector, and that is a very powerful position to be in. The gossip columns will keep churning, The rumors will keep flying, but inside the palace walls the decision has been made. The file is closed. The subject is dropped. It is also worth noting how this affects the public perception of Harry. For a long time, he was the victim in many people's eyes, the one who was trapped, the one who escaped. But as William stands firm, the narrative is starting to wobble. If the brother who knows him best, the one who went through the trenches with him, says, "Enough is enough," it carries weight. It makes you question the other side of the story. It makes you wonder if we have only been seeing half the picture. William's silence is actually doing more damage to Harry's brand than any interview could. By refusing to engage, he is starving the Sussex media machine of oxygen. Without a reaction from William, there is no new conflict to report, no new chapter to write. It is a masterclass in grey rocking, the psychological technique of becoming uninteresting to a toxic person. William is essentially grey rocking his own brother on a global stage. So, as we watch this play out, or rather not play out, we need to adjust our expectations. We need to stop looking for the olive branch because the tree has been cut down. We are witnessing a new era of the royal family, one where the circle of trust is tighter than ever, and admission is strictly invitation only. The days of the chaotic, sprawling royal soap opera are being replaced by a disciplined, focused operation led by a man who has decided that some bridges are worth burning if it means keeping his castle safe. It is a sad reality, a harsh reality, but it is the reality nonetheless. The door is shut, the lock is turned, and Prince William has walked away, leaving the keys behind.